Alisa, just to talk through the steps involved in setting up this something similar to an opt-in site exit for mobile devices. So what I've started off with is I've just built out two creatives that are optimized for mobile. I first built out just my pop over that's going to appear and ask people, very similar to the other one, would you like to take a survey before you leave the site? Yes or no. Obviously this is a very ugly one, but that's basically all you need to set up there. Then I've also set up a slider that I want to be shown on my mobile device when people actually opt in. So when people click yes there, I want my slider to appear. So I've just set a panda as the little icon that appears that they can see. And when they click on the panda, it will slide out and ask them to click there to take the survey and open it up in another tab in their mobile device. Now, obviously, you can also use an embedded target there, just overlay this with an embedded target. But that just depends on if your survey is going to be really long or really short, and what it's going to look like on mobile. So your two options, either embed or just link to the survey. So once we have the two creatives set up, we're just going to go into intercepts and see how we can get this to run alongside our the other intercept that's currently running for our desktop. So we can either do it within the same intercept using different action sets, or we can have it set up so that it is in its own intercept. That's completely up to you. But if you are doing it in the same intercept as your mobile or as your desktop one, the only thing that I'd request you to change is you can keep the logic all the same. You can leave the action set logic the same if you have any set up, but always just put in for the desktop ones if device type is not mobile. And do that for each action set that corresponds to a desktop one, so that they won't be intercepted on the mobile device. So then all we need to do is we need to add two more action sets for our mobile. Again, you can copy this and just so that all the same logic will apply if you want. But the only difference is that we need to make sure this time that device type is mobile, is displayed. Then we select our popover that is optimized for our mobile device. So this is my opt-in slider 1. For the target, then we set to no target. So what we want to happen, because in our desktop version we can link to a pop under and it's linked through the action set, that's not a possibility here. So we just need to do it with no target, and then we actually need to put a triggering event on this yes button, which I'll talk through in just a second. So then we just add our second action set, which is for just the slider to come out. So on that, we just need to again set if device type is mobile, and then just select our slider, and then link to the survey we actually want the participants to take through the slider. So the other thing we need to add to this is we're going to be basing this one to appear based off of a cookie that's dropped by this one. So to do that, we're going to talk through the triggering events that need to happen when we click yes. So we are going to go back to our creatives area. We're going to go into our pop over, which is where we want to set this conditioning on. Then we're going to click on our yes button, which is our target button. Now up here to the top, we're going to click on the drop down menu and go to add event. So we want two events to be triggered here. First of all, we want to add a cookie when they click on this to let us know that they've opted in. So we need to base the logic to let the slider appear. So we say, call this one just as an example, opt in, and value of 1. Then we also need to click the plus and say on click, we need to add some JavaScript. So now I'm just going to go quickly over to our support pages. Don't worry too much. This is code that is provided. It's basically just saying when they click on this, we're going to rerun the code so people don't actually need to go to another page in order to see that slider. It will just actually appear straight on the page for them. So this is under, I think it's called single page application. Yeah, single page application. So what we want from this page is down the bottom, we will have 3 pieces of code. So we need to just make sure that these 3 pieces of code are actually pasted in. So I'm just going to go back, edit JavaScript. I'm going to insert the code there and just take out the the ones that aren't actually code. Okay, great. So we should just have these 3 pieces of code in there, and click save and save. So now the last thing is just to add a little bit more logic to our site intercept for our opt-in so that the slider won't appear until they actually choose to. So let's see, we'll go down to our slider, add one more piece of conditioning, say a browsing session, or is it website? It's website, cookie, opt-in is equal to 1. So therefore they've clicked yes on this one we're targeting. So now the way we have this set up is we have it all nested within the one intercept. So obviously people who come in on mobile devices won't see this, and people who come in on desktop versions won't see this. Then following the logic down, the first intercept that people on mobile are going to be presented with is this one, which asks do they want to take the survey. If they click no, that condition won't be met, so they won't get the cookie and they won't be equal to 1. So this one will never appear for them. And if they do say yes, then we have it triggered so that it drops a cookie, which makes this condition incorrect, but also reruns the code so this one will display on mobile devices. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really quickly, that is pretty much the entire setup. So all I'm really going to do, obviously all of the other conditioning, like your embedded data and all the rest, will just come the exact same as your desktop version, or all of the options available in advanced options and change options. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go and test this out really quickly on a mobile device. I'm going to go to editing version. I'm going to bring up my thing. And I'm just going to do this on Qualtrics.com just as an example. And I'm going to test it on my mobile device. So I do this just by going into Inspect Element by right-clicking on a page and going to this button right here, which is Toggle Device Toolbar. And this actually makes it look like I'm taking on a mobile device. So I can hide that there and I can choose my device. So I'm just going to take it as though I'm on a... no, I found 5 is nicer. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But now I'm going to actually run the code and see what this looks like. So bear in mind, I did make the creatives. They might not be mobile optimized, but we'll see. Okay, great. So this one appears. How do I get rid of this? Okay, that's my fault. Let me see if I can get out. Fit to window, device type. Oh, that's further out. I think I need to zoom out. Okay, sorry about that. I just changed it to iPhone 6 Plus and it made the screen wide enough. Obviously the intercept looks fine. It was just this the display window that was causing the problem. So now I can go back. So now if I say no, obviously nothing will happen. But now if I click yes, the code should run again, and a little panda should appear on my screen. And that one appeared again, and I know exactly why. This is my fault. I'm sorry. So we actually have no condition on here that says don't show this one again. So all we need to do is just do something similar to what we did before and just say on website cookie opt-in is, and we can either say not equal to 1 or is empty. So basically once opt-in has been actually assigned to them, then this shouldn't work. So now I'll go back and try that again. Sorry about this. But now this should work correctly. So iPhone 6 Plus, yeah, and click yes, and now our little panda should appear on the page. And there it goes, there it's just appeared. So now I can click on this and I can either click the survey or you'll have it actually embedded. Obviously you can make this much bigger and fit the screen if you want, but this is it. This is basically your opt-in method for on mobile devices, and that's just purely because we can't target people leaving, but at least people know exactly where they can go whenever they're ready to actually complete the survey. Obviously in your first intercept you can say please click on X whenever you're ready to take the survey. This doesn't have to be an image, it can be a click here to take the survey or feedback, whatever you want it to be. But this is just an example. You don't actually have to take up too much space on the mobile device as well if you don't want to. So I hope this is kind of an option for you. Please have a look at it and let me know what you think, and if you do want to set it up, please let me know if you have any questions.